now, we proudly present Berwick Bulldogs football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's visions. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickashinny. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg. Now with Andy Ulickney, here's the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight from Ironmen Stadium in Danville, it's the Bulldogs against the Ironmen of Danville High School. I am Jim Doyle. I'm joined by Kaz Curry. The producer of this broadcast is Jake Klein. Well, Berwick coming off by far their best win of the season. Last week at Crispin Field against an unbeaten Dallas team, Berwick won and won convincingly, 39-22, improving the Bulldogs' record to 4-3 and moving them into fourth place in the District 2 power rankings in Quad A. That's important because if they can stay at fourth or even move up, that would guarantee them a home field advantage for the playoffs, which begin just 3 weeks from tonight. It won't be easy for the Bulldogs this evening. They are going against an unbeaten team for the second week in a row. This one, the Ironmen of Danville. They are 7-0. They expected to be good. 17 starters back from last year's District 4 AAA champions. But they have gone beyond expectations. They have been completely dominant. They're averaging over 48 points a game. They're giving up only 4 points a game. They have shut out 5 of their 7 opponents. And really, they have had only one competitive game. It was week 5. Against Loyalsock when they won 17-14. Danville, not surprisingly, is on top of the power rankings for District 4 AAA, followed by Loyalsock. So this is an important game for Danville. They're taking on 2 teams at the end of the schedule, Bellefonte and Huntington, that they should beat. So this is the one game that probably stands between them and an unbeaten regular season. The last time that occurred was back in 2010. Terrific matchup, Danville against Berwick. Joining me for the broadcast is former Berwick and Citadel standout Kaz Curry. Kaz is filling in for Al Wanakonis, who is filling in for Andy Ulickney. Kaz, there's one way of looking at that. You're third string analyst. Are you okay with that?
I think I'm fourth because you have Andy, you have Lano, you had Keith Seeley last week. So I'm fourth on the depth chart, and I'm honored to be here, Jim. And big shoes to fill with all 3 of those gentlemen, and certainly wish Andy all the best.
The 45th meeting between these 2 schools, and yet the first one since 1984. You did not play against Danville in your high school career, even though Berwick did. Explain that.
Oh God, yeah. In 1983 and 4, I was a 9th and 10th grader, and I missed 2 days of school and practice the week of the Danville game. I was sick. And I could have played that game, and my dad goes, "No, you didn't practice. You don't play, buddy. That's the way it is." And he was right. But I missed lettering by 2 quarters that year. I would have unfortunately earned that had I played. And then my 10th grade year, I just had an injury, and I missed that game. But that was a phenomenal football team, both the 83 and 84 teams. And it was an honor to be part of that with those guys. Good guys.
Well, the intriguing thing about today's matchup, ordinarily, you look at 7-0 versus 4-3. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but the 4-3 is deceptive. Berwick has had a lead in the first half of every game this season, and they have played a different schedule. Southern Columbia is the only like opponent for these 2 teams. Danville's very, very talented. Their stats on both sides of the football are off the charts, but they have not played Berwick. They have not played Dallas. They've not played Valley View, so that makes it intriguing.
It really does. And when I look at comparative scores, and I saw the 49-14 score, Danville over Southern Columbia, and then looked at what happened at the Berwick game with the lightning delay, tale of 2 teams that particular day. And I guess you can say it's been a tale of 2 teams for Berwick the whole season, in a lot of respects. You used a term a few weeks ago on the radio, a key word would be finish. So when I look at what you just analyzed, it doesn't mean a whole lot, because if Berwick had finished that game, it may have been a similar score. So I expect a very strong matchup tonight, and it's going to come down to a few keys, which we'll discuss later, as to who's going to walk away with the victory.
Nothing against linemen for either team, but there are so many talented skill position people on both sides. Berwick's got to the point where at some points they split 3 receivers out to one side. Those 3 receivers are Beau Shepton, Dre Wilk, and Spencer Kishbaugh. That's a pick-your-poison thing for the opposition. For Danville, they have one of the all-time leading receivers in the state of Pennsylvania, much less Danville, in Carson Percy. I have never charted a game this late in the season when one of the quarterbacks was completing 76.3% of his passes, but that's Zach Gordon of Danville. There's some great talent on this field.
Unbelievable talent, and to your point, I don't know if I've seen a quarterback at any level, high school, college, or pro, with that kind of a percentage completion rate at any point in the season, much less this late in the season. He's remarkable. And I've talked to some people around here, they say he may not be the best thrower of the football that they've ever had, but he might be the very best decision maker. Obviously, when you've thrown 1 interception and you're completing 76.3% of your passes, you don't make too many bad decisions. It sounds like he doesn't make any bad decisions, and it sounds like he has a remarkable offensive line to give him the time he needs. And Mike Brennan's offense, it's a spread, wide open, very fast-paced, decision-making offense, and Zach Gordon's the right guy to make those plays, and everything is predetermined. He reads extremely well. He pre-reads defenses, and when the play is in motion, he never takes his eyes, at least from what I have seen, he never takes his eyes off from downfield. He's not worried about the rush. He's not looking like down at the back of his lineman. He's looking down the field and getting rid of the ball quickly. And to his credit, he's extremely successful at it.
I thought one of the highlights of Berwick's win over Dallas was the running of quarterback Matt Slavinsky. In his career at Berwick, he's been kind of a reluctant runner. Doesn't run a lot. He had 63 yards rushing, that's counting sacks, and 3 touchdowns. When they split those 3 receivers that we mentioned earlier, and all that talent out there, and then Ryan Bankus, who's very good in his own right, is the running back, Matt Slavinsky's got to have some opportunities.
He absolutely is, and he's coming into his own. He's really matured as a quarterback the past few games, and as he goes is how the team's going to go, because he's the guy. Like, he's the guy that has to make it happen, and I hope he doesn't feel pressure with that. He just do your job, do what you need to do, get the ball where it needs to be, trust your linemen, trust the system, get the ball out of your hands quick, let your receivers make plays.
Kaz will be by later with the keys to tonight's game. When we return, we'll hear from Mike Brennan, the head coach of the Ironmen of Danville. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting, with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
Stadium in Danville. First meeting between Berwick and Danville since the 1984 season. Danville coming in 7-0 and Berwick 4-3, but coming off their best win of the season. As prolific as their offense has been this season, the Danville defense has been just as strong. Through 7 games, the Ironmen have given up a total of 28 points, and they've shut out 5 of their 7 opponents. Danville coach Mike Brennan on the strength of his team's defense.
I think we're more mature. We had a great season, off-season, the weight room, a great preseason. Kids put a lot of time in the off-season. Our defensive staff spent a lot of time with the Susquehanna University staff clinicking on the 3-4, and it's been really good for us. Gives us a little more. It gives us a lot of scheme changes for the offense and the security, have the 2 safeties over the top, and I think we've increased our size and physicality, but we also have much better team speed in the defensive side. So all those things together, I think, have really allowed us to be a much better defensive football team.
Your quarterback Zach Gordon missed some time with injury and illness a year ago. He's your full-timer this season. Boy, his numbers are off the chart. Over 70% completion rate and 16 touchdowns and 1 interception. For those who haven't seen him, what makes him a good high school quarterback?
He's outstanding. I mean, it starts with his mental approach to the game. He's so intelligent. He studies the game of football. He's so calm. His demeanor never changes in the field. You look in the eyes. He's just so confident, and you see such a confident presence in our huddle. And his accuracy's been outstanding. He's nearly completed 80% of his passes. He's dangerous with his feet. And he's got those 16 touchdown passes, and he's actually split some time, with Matt and Patrick early in the season, to make sure Matt was good and ready to go as well, and keep Zach a little healthier. So his numbers have been outstanding. His leadership has been outstanding, and he's made everybody around him better. And it's really been a total team effort offensively, certainly led by Zach Gordon.
Well, now you face a Berwick team that's coming off their best win of the season. Tell us what concerns you about them.
A lot of things. I mean, I know their physicality is at a different level than we've seen. That's obvious. The way they get off the ball on the defensive side, the way they get after it, the way they run and tackle and block, and I'm going to go out and say they're the best football team we've seen all year. I really believe that, even though I know they lost to Southern, and they're different right now. They're playing really good football. They're not on top of their physicality. Their athleticism on the offensive side and defensive side of the balls is really, really good. And they're playing with high energy. They're coming off a monster win over Dallas, which they played at extremely high level. So it's going to be our biggest challenge of the year so far. And it's a challenge that, quite frankly, we need as a program. We need to line up against somebody that's physical, perhaps more physical than us. And we have to match physicality. And, we still have to continue to get stops and make plays in the offensive end and play a clean game. So this game could not have come at a better time for us.
Mike Brennan, head coach of the Ironmen of Danville. What a job he has done. Just his 3rd season at Danville, 24-6. His record with the Ironmen. They have won back-to-back District 4 titles. Obviously would be the favorite to make it 3. It's his 25th season overall as a head coach. Spent a couple at Nativity, 9 at Mount Carmel, 5 at Blue Mountain, 6 at Hazleton area. 160 wins and 111 losses, his career mark. His Ironmen come into this one with a perfect 7-0 record. Danville against Berwick. We'll check the starting lineups when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
If you haven't been to name brand liquidations in the Berwick Plaza Shopping Center, you're missing out on great values. At name brand liquidations, you'll save money from 50 to 90% on everything imaginable. From furniture to food to bedding, you name it. Name brand liquidations not only sells a huge variety of merchandise, they feature name brands just like their name says, at low prices. When you're in the market for anything, shop at the store that has everything. Name brand liquidations. Wishing the Berwick Bulldogs a great season.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
Has a sports injury got you down? No one knows sports medicine like Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. With more than 30 years of experience, they put athletes first and provide same-day appointments. Don't let a sports injury slow you down. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO. Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Beautiful night for high school football here at Ironmen Stadium in Danville. Temperatures about 60 when I got here this afternoon. Probably going to dip into the 40s by the time the evening is done, but there is no wind. Should be a great night for football. Good crowd from Berwick across the way. Obviously a great crowd for this 7-0 Danville team down below us. Here's the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs. At the tight end, number 6, Rowan Slavinsky. He is a 6'3", 215-pound senior. 6 catches on the season for 75 yards and 1 touchdown. The left tackle, number 71, Harrison Snyder. 6'1", 210, a junior. At the left guard spot, number 56, J.J. Leonard, 5'11", 210 pounds, just a 9th grader. Liam Carroll's had a great year at center. He wears number 78. He is 5'9", 210 pounds, a junior. At the right guard, big number 75, Jack Andrews, 5'11", 283, a senior. And the right tackle's number 64, Chase Shuckers, 6 foot, 243 pounds, a sophomore. At one wide receiver position, Dre Wilk, the 5'11", 181-pound senior, has caught 17 passes for 312 yards and 7 touchdowns. He's averaging over 18 yards a reception. He has also carried the ball, sometimes out of the Wildcat, 15 times for 286 yards and 5 touchdowns. He is averaging 19 yards a carry. The second leading receiver on this team is Spencer Kishbaugh. He is a 6'2", 210-pound senior. 13 receptions on the season for 282 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's averaging 21.6 yards a reception. This has been a big play offense for the Bulldogs this season. Spencer also has carried the ball 4 times for 65 yards and a touchdown. The quarterback is number 12, Matt Lunzinski. He is a 6 foot, 217-pound senior. He's completing 54% of his passes for 953 yards. Great touchdown to interception ratio, 14 TDs, just 4 interceptions. And he has carried the ball for 4 touchdowns, including 3 in that win over Dallas last Friday night. The leading rusher for this team is number 2, Beau Shepton. He's 5'10", 168 pounds, a sophomore, averaging 5.5 yards a carry on 64 attempts, 352 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's also caught 10 passes for 252 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 long TDs, 77 yards versus Valley View, 49 last week against Dallas. We'll also see Ryan Bankus. He is a 5'7", 159-pound senior, 74 carries for 282 yards and a touchdown. The fullback, we'll see a number of them, including Jimmy DeAndre, number 33, Mike Vaughn, 44, Caden Hunter, number 32. As the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs under first-year head coach Mike Bennett. They come in with a 4-3 overall record, but coming off their biggest win of the season against an unbeaten Dallas team, facing another unbeaten opponent here tonight in Danville. The Ironmen will go with an H-back, number 12, Mason Raup. 6 foot, 210-pound senior. He is a terrific linebacker on defense. He's a weapon on offense as well. Has caught 12 passes for 227 yards and a touchdown. Declan Akins is the left tackle. He wears number 52, 6'2", 200-pound senior. Justin Kutcher, back from an injury, he starts at left guard. He wears number 53, 6'2", 275, a junior. Gunnar Tribley, number 58, is the starting center. 6'1", 270, a senior. Joe Shipe starts at right guard for Danville. He is a 6 foot, 205-pound junior. The right tackle is a sophomore, just 5'9", 190 pounds, Lincoln Deal. Carson Percy, one of the all-time greats at Danville, will be at a wide receiver spot. He's a 5'9", 175-pound senior. This season, 27 catches almost half of them, 13, have gone for touchdowns. In his career, he needs 3 catches tonight for 200 for his career. He needs 1 touchdown grab for 50. That is very, very significant. In the history of in Pennsylvania football, only 4 receivers have caught 50 touchdowns in Pennsylvania. Julian Fleming of Southern Columbia, number 1 at 78. We'll check the rest of the starting lineup for the Ironmen and also check keys to the game with Kaz Curry. When we return, you're listening to Berwick Football on Pop Radio.
When you're planning your next big event, weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites, remember Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. Have no power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. Preferred Portables can provide sanitary service to campgrounds, carnivals, parks, parties, and even has an emergency service 24 hours a day. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Email preferredportables@gmail.com. Go Berwick Bulldogs!
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Rounding out the starting lineup for the Ironmen, we talked about him earlier. Zach Gordon, their senior quarterback. Tremendous passing numbers. He can run as well. 9.1 yards a carry on 27 attempts. Ty Stauffer is a running back with some credentials. He's headed to Army West Point. He wears number 5. He's a 5'10", 200-pound senior. 568 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns, averaging 6.6 yards a carry. And they have a very, very talented receiver / running back in number 21, Aaron Johnson, a 5'10", 175-pound junior, averaging almost 11 yards a carry and rushing. He's also caught 16 passes for 374 yards and 5 touchdowns. As the Bulldogs of Berwick just now making their way on the far side of the field. Bulldogs tonight, white jerseys, white pants, white helmets, blue numerals, and trim. Danville under head coach Mike Brennan, 7-0, offensively averaging 48.2 points per game. Great matchup, Danville against Berwick. Keys to tonight's game, Kaz Curry.
The keys for tonight's game, Jim, for Berwick, it's to get quarterback Zach Gordon off rhythm. They need to force him to make hurried decisions. Second, they need to keep the receivers underneath them when in pass coverage to prevent the big play. Persing's a weapon. His stats speak for themselves. He's one of the highest rated receivers in the state overall for pass catches and touchdowns. And the third key for Berwick is ball control. They need to score at least 1 touchdown a quarter to have an opportunity to win this game. For Danville, 3 keys to utilize their strong veteran offensive line and pass protection to give Zach Gordon the time he's had all season. Number 2, they need to stay in rhythm. And number 3, they need to use the maturity of their senior leadership and take advantage of this home win against Berwick tonight.
And Kaz, you mentioned ball control on the part of Berwick. That's something that they have not done well during the course of the season because they've had so many big plays. But against Dallas last week, they did that very, very effectively. They had a couple of long time-consuming drives that used almost half of a quarter, and that would be very, very effective going against a team that's averaging over 48 points a game.
Oh, there's no question. There's a saying: your best offense is good defense, and in the case of Berwick to slow them down, they have to play defense.
Danville making their way on the near side of the field. Orange jerseys, orange helmets, white pants, white numerals, and trim. The officiating crew for this game: Joe Claybon is the referee. The umpire is Doug Hummel. Dennis Reiprish is the linesman. Line judge is Daniel Claybon. The back judge is Robert Neidig, and Scott Schlegg is the field judge. This will not be the last Berwick-Danville game. They are scheduled to play at Crispin Field next season. It's great to see what was once a good rivalry come back. Again, the 45th meeting tonight between these two schools. Actually, in Kaz's dad's, George Curry's first year as head coach, Danville beat Berwick 34-32. That was in 1971. It was also the first year for Bill Wolf as the head coach at Danville. All told, George Curry was 12-2 versus Danville, but that 1974 game that's listed as a loss was actually a forfeit. There was a teacher strike at Berwick that season, and so that game went to Danville, even though it was never played. But as far as games on the field, 1971, the last time that Danville defeated Berwick. Captain's about to meet with the officials at the center of the field. Beautiful artificial turf here at Ironmen Stadium. No problems with weather tonight. I mean, it's very, very still evening. Temperatures, as I said, might dip into the 40s before we're done here, but it's very, very nice now. And we are just about ready to go with what should be a terrific matchup. Danville would like to go beyond the district. Obviously, they want to win the district title. They've won 2 in a row under Mike Brennan, who's now in his 3rd season as head coach. But they want to make a run beyond the districts, and they think games like this against very physical teams like Berwick from out of the area will go a long way toward doing that. Again, they should be heavily favored against Bellefonte and Huntington in their last 2 games. So this is the last real test for the Ironmen before those district playoffs begin. And of course, they'd like to hang on to that number 1 spot. If they can do that, there's a chance, like they have done the last couple of seasons, of winning the district title without leaving home. Right now, Loyalsock is behind them in the standings. And that was a very, very competitive game when they met a couple of weeks ago. In fact, the only game that Danville's played this season that has been competitive. So Danville's going to get the football to start this one. So we'll get to see that powerful offense against a Berwick defense that's been pretty good. Berwick defensively will line up with Harrison Snyder and Rowan Slavinsky at the ends. Chase Shuckers and Liam Carroll at the tackles. Linebackers Spencer Kishbaugh, Tristan English, and Jimmy DeAndrea. The corners, Ryan Vegas and Billy Hansen. The safeties, Dre Wilk and Beau Shepton. Berwick will alternate at corners. So we're going to see Carmine Martz before the night is out. We're going to see Josh Kishbaugh. And they also have a very talented backup at safety in Ethan Lear. So Berwick will get their first look at this offense. And Bulldogs faced a really good offensive team last week in Dallas, but they've not faced a wide-open team like Danville simply because there aren't many.
Well, there aren't many, but it's also the speed and the tempo that Danville's offense operates at, and the quality of the athletes and the receivers that you mentioned earlier.
Luke Peters will kick it off for Berwick. Danville moving from our right to our left as we view things here in the opening half. Carson Percy and Aaron Johnson, 2 very dangerous deep men for the Ironmen. So the first meeting between Danville and Berwick since 1984 is underway as the kick will go on a high hop to Persing at the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and out over the 40. Excuse me, that's Aaron Johnson on the return. And a good return it was, and Danville will put it in play in good field position at their own 40-yard line. Johnson and Persing, very, very dangerous return men, and 2 terrific receivers as well. Carmine Martz, one of the players I mentioned in a rotation at corner, does get a start for the Bulldogs. Here's the first play from scrimmage of the game. Gordon out of the gun. Persing in motion to the left. Ty Stauffer gets the call up the middle, has running room. Over midfield to going 35 to 40. Down the sideline 30 and ripped out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Beau Shepton knocked him out, but a long run by Ty Stauffer and a big start to this game for Danville's offense.
It's a 50-yard run, a 40-yard run from the line of scrimmage, Jim, and they pulled the right guard. It was a trap, an influence trap. Went to the right, the back cut left, and had a huge run.
1st and 10. Ironmen at the Berwick 19-yard line. Slot to the right side. Matt Patrick is wide right. Persing goes in motion that side. On a quarterback draw, it's Gordon, and Gordon is hit hard. He gets inside the 15, down to about the 14, as Rowan Slavinsky with a big hit for the Bulldogs, but a good gain to the 9-yard line. And 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, that was an unbalanced trips formation. They put a man in motion and the quarterback sneak to the opposite side, and it was a real nice hit by DeAndrea.
Yeah, it is the 14-yard line. I stand corrected. 2nd down and 5. As Gordon out of the gun, gives the ball to Stauffer off the left side. He stood up. Short gain. Jimmy DeAndrea coming from his linebacker position to help on the play for the Bulldogs. They're going to mark it at the 12, so give them 2. Here's a 3rd down and 3. First 3rd down situation of the game.
It was the same play they ran the first play of the drive. A little bit different result. Berwick did a real good job of containing the gaps, and linebacker filled well, DeAndrea.
Cade Cush enters the offense for Danville. He's a tight end to the left. Here's a 3rd and 3 from the Berwick 12. Out of the pistol. Stauffer will take the handoff off the left side. He is hit hard and dropped back. He will not get the first down. Rowan Slavinsky with a big hit for the Bulldogs. So now a 4th down situation coming for Danville. They do give him 2 yards to the 10-yard line. So it is 4th down and 1.
That wasn't a call blitz. That was a good ball reaction for the linebackers from Berwick. Good defensive stop and puts them at a 4th and short. It's less than a yard, Jim. It looks like about 2 football lengths.
So no big decision for Danville. They're going for it. From the Berwick 10, Stauffer to the left of Gordon. Persing goes in motion left to right. 4th down call. Stauffer the call. He gets the first down. A saving tackle by Rowan Slavinsky, who's been very, very active on this first series for Danville. But it is a 1st and goal for the Ironmen at the Berwick 8.
They like running that left side, Jim. They have big offensive linemen in Declan Akins and Justin Kutcher, 200 and 275 pounds each, and they keep running to the right like an influence and cutting back like a predetermined cutback on all their runs thus far.
So Danville, 1st and goal at the Berwick 8. Pistol formation. Stauffer is behind the quarterback, Zach Gordon. Slot to the right side. Gordon gives to Stauffer, hit behind the line. He'll not get back to the line of scrimmage, brought down to 10. Beau Shepton coming from his safety position as Liam Carroll in there as well. They'll mark it at the 10, a loss of 2 for Stauffer. 2nd down and 2nd and goal, Danville at the Berwick 10. Slot to the right side. Persing in the slot. Matt Patrick outside of him. From the 10, Gordon's rolling right. Looking to throw. Looking. Fires across his body. Has his man a completion into the end zone for the touchdown. So Gordon on the run completes the pass to Carson Percy for the score. It's the 50th touchdown reception of his career.
Carson Percy. Good job by Gordon.
Extra point attempt coming. The kick by Garrett Hoffman is up, and the kick is good. Tied on the field, 8:45 to go. Opening quarter, Danville 7, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Great start for Danville. They take the ball and go 7 plays, 60 yards. Zach Gordon, 10-yard touchdown pass to Carson Percy. Garrett Hoffman with the extra point, 7-0 Ironmen, and Hoffman will kick it off. Low line drive kick takes a high hop over the head of Beau Shepton and will go into the end zone for a touchback. So Berwick will put it in play at their own 20-yard line against a Danville defense that lines up at a 3-4. Joe Shipe, Lincoln Deal, Gunnar Triblee, the front three. Outside linebackers, Cameron Kirsch and Ty Stauffer. Inside, Mason Rout, their all-time leading tackler, and Cade Cush. Corners, Carson Percy and Cole Duffy. Free safety, Zach Gordon. The strong safety, Aaron Johnson. So looking for our first snap of the game for the Bulldogs, who will move from our left to a right. In this opening half, Beau Shepton is the running back. Lonsinski out of the pistol with a slot to the right side. Shepton gets the call, looks for room off the left side, and has some. As he gets over the 23-yard line is where he'll get to. As Cade Cush makes the tackle from his linebacker position. They mark it at the 24, so a 4-yard pickup for the Bulldogs' leading rusher. Beau Shepton, 2nd down and 6 Bulldogs.
It was an unbalanced formation, an over formation, and they ran a similar play to what Danville ran in the opening without pulling the guards. Nice 4-yard gain.
3 receivers now to the right and 1 to the left. So empty backfield for Lonsinski. Now Danville can get after the quarterback. Lonsinski back to throw, fires a quick out, and the completion out to the 28-yard line to Dre Wilk will bring up a 3rd down.
Quick hitter, real nice play by Lonsinski. Got rid of the ball quick. He did have time, but it was a short route by all of the Berwick receivers, a 5-yard quick and a nice 5-yard gain.
3rd down and 3. Berwick at their own 27-yard line. Would not be good for the Bulldogs to go 3 and out after Danville put a long scoring drive on the board on their first possession. See what they come up with. Lonsinski under center. Shepton gets the call, tries to sweep the left side, breaks one tackle and another, has the first down as he gets out to the 35-yard line. Good effort by Beau Shepton.
Yeah, it was a tight end flanker over, another unbalanced formation. He put the fullback to the left with a wing, gave the toss to Wilk, and he had a real nice job of getting outside, beating the corner, and getting the first down.
So a 6-yard gain on a 3rd down and 3, and Berwick 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Clock running, 7:18 remaining in this first quarter. 7-0 is the Danville lead. It's the call goes to Ryan Bankus off the left side, and Bankus gets over the 35, his first carry of the game. They mark it at the 38, so it's a 5-yard pickup, 2nd down and 5.
Berwick pulled the right guard to give Bankus a little crease in there. He churned hard, kept his pads low, head up, nice 5-yard gain, pushed Berwick in a very manageable 2nd and 5 situation.
These are the kind of drives that Berwick would love to put together tonight and keep that Danville offense off the field. 3 receivers to the right. Lonsinski out of the gun. 2nd down and 5. Bankus to his left. Lonsinski back to throw. Here comes the rush. He will be sacked. Back at the 30-yard line. Matt Lonsinski is prone to getting sacked. We've seen that all during the season. And against this Danville team, Berwick's passing game is going to have to be 3 steps and out of there, or they're going to have problems.
They rushed 3 that time, and Lincoln Deal made the sack, but he beat the right tackle to the point of attack. There were receivers open, but unfortunately, Lonsinski couldn't get rid of it because of the pressure.
3rd down and 13 for Berwick. Back at their own 30-yard line. Three receivers to the right. Danville will be teeing off on Slavinsky, who's back to throw. Now he has some time and fires a quick out. Has Shepton, but he is brought down by Carson Percy at about the 33-yard line. Nice tackle in the open field. So 4th down and long in a punting situation for the Bulldogs.
Jim, Carson Percy filled from 12 yards deep on that. He really has good closing speed. Came up and, as you said, nice open field tackle, limiting Berwick to a 3-yard gain, forcing them to punt.
Percy back in single safety, awaiting the punt of Dre Wilk. Ethan Lear does the long snapping for the Bulldogs. Wilk has the snap, gets the kick away. Percy calls a fair catch and makes it at the Danville 36-yard line. So that's where the Ironmen will get it for the second time in this game. 5:08 to go in the opening quarter. They lead Berwick by a score of 7-0.
It's a 31-yard net punt, so we have a change of possession. Danville has the first down.
Again, 50 career touchdown receptions for Carson Percy, with the one that he got to start this game. One of only 4 players in the history of Pennsylvania to reach 50 receiving touchdowns. Again, the number 1 player on that list is Ohio State's Julian Fleming out of Southern Columbia. Finished his fabulous career with 78. Danville, 1st and 10 from the 36. 3 receivers to the left. Gordon gives to Stoffer straight ahead and nothing doing. May have not reached the line of scrimmage, as Rowan Slavinsky's really been tough from his defensive end position in the early going.
He's had 3 tackles so far in this game, and that was a bone-crushing hit, and he had an assist by Tristan English. Both did a real nice job of limiting Danville to a 1-yard gain.
Slot to the right side. Carson Percy is in that slot. Aaron Johnson wide left. 2nd down and 9. Ironmen from their 37. Gordon back to throw. Big pass rush, and it goes incomplete. Tried to set up a screen to Kirsch, but Spencer Kishbaugh coming hard. We mentioned Danville's ability to get to the passer. Berwick's very good at that as well.
Absolutely. That's one of the key to the game, and that's exactly what needed to happen. Make Gordon make fast decisions. Get the ball out of his hand quick. The pressure forced an errant throw and an incomplete pass.
3rd down and 11. 3rd down and 9. Danville at their own 37-yard line. Slot to the left. Wide receiver right. Gordon back to throw. Looking. Here comes the rush, and he's got to be brought down the 35-yard line. Berwick got it going as Chase Shuckers, a 6', 243-pound sophomore, makes the play. It'll be a sack, a loss of 2, 4th and 11. Punting situation for Danville.
Yeah, Chase Shuckers stayed in his lane. He didn't get duped by trying to get behind the quarterback. He spun off a tackle, spun off a block, and made a good tackle.
Garrett Hoffman will do the punting. Mason Raup does the long snapping for Danville. Hoffman is back at the Ironman 23-yard line. Good snap. Kick is away, low line drive kick, and it's muffed by Dre Wilk. The ball is loose, and Berwick comes up with it at the 24-yard line. Wilk came up on the line drive punt. Muffed the ball, but Berwick got Ryan Bankus to alertly fall on it back at the Bulldog 25-yard line.
Well, Ryan Bankus with Johnny on the spot there, because that would have been catastrophic for Berwick had Danville recovered that punt, that muffed punt.
1st and 10 for Berwick, their 2nd possession. Have it at their own 25-yard line. Bulldogs come to the line of scrimmage. Rowan Slavinsky is the tight end on the left. Wilk on a wing to the right. 1st down call, but a flag down before the play could get going.
I think they're going to call Berwick for offside.
It is offside against the Bulldogs. Is that a matter of someone lining up offside? Because it didn't look like there's any movement.
There was no movement. It just looked like the wideout was over the ball when he lined up, and that was a quick call by the official. Usually they give you a signal by where their hand position is. You just look at the line judge. If his hand's behind behind the line of scrimmage, if it's forward, you're on the line of scrimmage. Not needless to say, it's a 5-yard penalty.
1st and 15 for Berwick. Wilk, half moon motion, another flag, and I think Berwick's going to be marked 5 yards back.
Coach Ben is probably pulling his hair out right now.
So it is now a 1st and 20 for Berwick after back-to-back penalties. 3 minutes, 39 seconds to go in this opening quarter. Danville leading 7-0. Nice looking touchdown drive on their possession off the opening kickoff. And boy, Berwick wants to grind it out a bit, but makes it a little tough to do that when it's a 1st and 20. Slot to the left. Wilk wide to the right. Call goes to Bankus, and he'll get just a couple off the right side out to about the 17-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and long.
Officially, they marked it as a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 17. Another cutback, pull the guard, influence trap type play, a safe play when you're deep in your own territory. Push Berwick in a 2nd and long.
Mason Rout, by the way, with a milestone tackle. We'll get to that after this play. 2nd down and 18 for Berwick at their own 18-yard line. Slavinsky back to throw, has time, fires a pass to the far side. The pass comes up short. The receiver has to dive for it. Not a good throw. And are they calling it a catch? Actually,
yeah, they're calling it a catch, Jim, and it was a catch for no gain. It was at the same. Actually, it's a loss of a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 18 from the 17-yard line.
Mason Rout, that tackle in the play before. He's the all-time leading tackler. That was number 500 in his career. As Berwick now 3rd and 19 at their own 17-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Slavinsky has the snap, and he's back to throw, and he has time, and he fires, and he has his man Spencer Kishbaugh, the first down, and then some over the 40-45 to midfield before he's ridden out of bounds. On a 3rd down and 19, Slavinsky on target to Spencer Kishbaugh over the middle for a huge gain.
That was a big play, Jim, a very big first down needed at a crucial time in this game. Danville's defensive line, the front 3, they have motors. They're really coming hard. Berwick's offensive line did a great job of protecting Slavinsky, giving him the time he needed, and stopping the very powerful rush that Danville's bringing.
33 yards on the reception by Kishbaugh. They mark him out of bounds at the midfield stripe. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. The call goes to Bankus. Tries the left side. Good pursuit by Danville. Ryan Bankus just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Danville's right end and cornerback did a real good job of reading, coming up onto the line of scrimmage and stopping Bankus for no gain.
2nd down and 10. Berwick at midfield. Trailing Danville 7-0. Couple minutes remaining in this.
I don't think so. It is against Danville.
So Berwick will get 5 the easy way, and it will bring up 2nd down and 5. Berwick in Danville territory for the first time in this game. So he cuts it inside and gets what he can, which is to about the Danville 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and short for Berwick.
Yeah, Dre Wilk had shown nice vision on that. He went to the
Danville has to be well aware of where he is lining up. Here's a keeps it himself straight ahead, gets the first down. We saw a lot of that last week against Dallas. He is a big kid, listed as 217 pounds, and he punishes people on his runs. He gets the first down to the 39-yard line.
He looked like a fullback running there, Jim. He did punish the tackler, and Danville's aggressive on their front three, and they got upfield quick. He took advantage of the over pursuit, ran up the middle, and first down.
1st and 10, Berwick at the Danville 39. Liam Carroll, the center, over the football. Running back to either side of Slavinsky, who drops straight back to throw and fires over the middle. Has his man Spencer Kishbaugh. He drops the football at the 25-yard line. If they're ruling it a catch, it's Danville football.
Number 8, Zach Gordon.
And it looks like they're ruling it a catch and a fumble at the 25.
Well, that was a phenomenal pass by Slavinsky. Danville was blitzing on that play, and they really brought it hard from the left side. He got rid of the ball quick, perfect timing pass, good catch, bad finish. But Danville has it 1st and 10 from the 25 midfield, moving left to right.
Perhaps one more play remaining in this first quarter. Gordon out of the gun. Slot to the left. Give on a delay to Stauffer. Lots of running room. Has the first down over the 35. Out to the 37-yard line on what will be the final play of this opening quarter with the score. Danville 7, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
One quarter of the books here at Ironmen Stadium in Danville. Unbeaten Danville leading Berwick by a score of 7-0. Bulldogs lost a golden opportunity just moments ago. Beautiful pass by Matt Slavinsky over the middle to Spencer Kishbaugh, but he fumbled the football. Danville recovered at the 25, and we'll start this second quarter with the Ironmen in possession, moving from our left to our right.
Yeah, Berwick will get when they get the ball back, come back to that same series, because they did find success in that play calling and what they were able to show in that last series. Certainly can move the ball.
1st and 10 for Danville at their own 36-yard line. 11-yard run by Ty Stauffer on that last play of the opening quarter. He has opened quickly in this one. As the give on the delay to Stauffer again, this time only a yard or two on the play. As Stauffer is hit to the turf and helped up by Tristan English, who's had a terrific year for Berwick at that middle linebacker spot. Number 3 on the team in tackles coming in, 8 tackles for loss. Got Stauffer there for a gain of just a yard to the 37, 2nd down and 9.
And Danville ran a draw that time. They dropped the guards back one step, showed pass, and then went downfield to make blocks. Berwick didn't bite, stayed in position, and held Danville to a small gain.
Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Now Persing comes in motion toward the line of scrimmage. Play action, Gordon back to throw. Has his man Aaron Johnson on the far side. Has the first down and then some. Ridden out of bounds. We'll wait and see where they mark it. Looks like it's in Berwick territory. Aaron Johnson with the catch and the run.
They blitzed. Berwick blitzed off the right side, and Gordon was under pressure. Did an excellent job of getting rid of the ball, completing it to his receiver, Johnson, who made a nice run for a first down, and it's in Berwick territory at the 46-yard line.
17 yards on the reception by Aaron Johnson, who's in the slot to the right. Carson Percy outside of him. The give is to Stauffer. Stauffer straight ahead. Won't get much. He gets to about the Berwick 44-yard line.
there was just a mass of bodies in there smacking into each other, both offensive and defensive line, for a 2-yard gain. I'm not sure who made the tackle. It was a host of Bulldogs.
2nd down and 8 for Danville. Gordon goes to the sideline. Talk to head coach Mike Brennan, who's done such a great job here. 24-6 his record at Danville. Consecutive District 4 championships. 3 receivers to the right. And Gordon will keep it himself. And Gordon gets to the Berwick 39-yard line. Again, he is an excellent runner as well as a thrower. 9.1 yards per carry coming in for him. Picked up 5 there. It's 3rd down and 3 at the Berwick 39-yard line.
That was a predetermined quarterback draw. He looked downfield, kept his eyes downfield, looked the receivers off, waited for his hole to develop, and then gained had a nice run for a 5-yard gain.
3rd down call coming. Matt Patrick is wide to the right side. There's a slot to that side. Gordon now under center. Persing comes in motion. Persing gets the handoff. Then he hands off to an end coming around the 35, the 30, the 25, and all the way down to the 16-yard line is Aaron Johnson. So Carson Persing came in motion, took the handoff. He in turn handed off to Aaron Johnson, and Johnson gets to the 17-yard line. It's a 22-yard run altogether. 1st down, Danville.
Real nice play call. Berwick over pursued. There was no one on the backside, and the result speaks for itself.
3 receivers to the left. Johnson wide to the right. Gordon out of the gun, gives the ball to Stauffer. Lots of running off the right, breaks through a tackle inside the 5, into the end zone for a touchdown. That is a terrific individual effort by Ty Stauffer as he carries tacklers the last 10 yards.
Jim, that was a horse run. He broke 4 tackles. Berwick had him stop, 2-yard gain, and he just kept his legs churning, body leaning forward, grinding, broke 4 tackles to get into the end zone.
17-yard touchdown run by Ty Stauffer, his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. Garrett Hoffman will attempt the extra point out of the hold of Madden Patrick as the flag flies on the play. Boy, Danville went on a nice drive after recovering that fumble. What a turnaround this game that fumble was.
That was a big turning point at this point in the game, but there's certainly enough time, and Berwick's been smacked in the face, so we'll see how the Dogs respond. They have to overcome this adversity and rally.
7-play, 75-yard drive by the Ironmen. I'll tell you what, when you have a quarterback completing 76% of his passes, and then you have a running back as good as Ty Stauffer, you have something going on offense.
Jim, that was one of the finest runs I think I've ever seen in my life.
Hoffman's kick hits the left upright, bounces off, so the kick fails. Timeout on the field. 9:14 to go, opening half. Danville 13, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
9:14 to go in the opening half. Danville leading Berwick by a score of 13-0. Bulldogs had something going their last possession, but a fumble, and Danville takes advantage, puts together a scoring drive. As the kick by Hoffman will go 1 yard deep in the end zone, and that is an automatic touchback. Beau Shepton wanted to run it out. It's one of those rules I never quite understood. Why in high school football can't you run it out of the end zone? And it's always been that way.
It's always been that way, and I guess it's maybe they feel that the speed of kids coming down, it lessens injuries, maybe concussions or something. Who knows? It just maybe they feel sorry for the team. You're always, if you have a good kicker, you're always going to start within the 20, so give you a chance.
But at any rate, Berwick has it. Moving from our right to our left in this second quarter. Bulldogs trailing by a score of 13-0. They have 3 receivers to the right. Matt Lonzinski awaits the shotgun snap. Wilk goes in motion to the right. Quick pitch to him, looking for some room. Gets by one man, then is buried on the play and will not get back to the line of scrimmage. So Danville, it's a good swarming defense. We talked all about Danville's defensive numbers. Their offensive numbers, but defensively they've been every bit as good on this season.
Well, I know that Coach Brennan spent a lot of time at Susquehanna University with Pat Rowley and Tom Perkovich, their offensive head coach and offensive coordinator and D coordinator, working on that 3-4, and they really have implemented it well here in Danville. They have guys that can run and they get to the ball quickly, and they can read offensive cues.
Second down and 10. Bulldogs at their 20. Pass over the middle, and a really bad pass. In fact, the only player that had a chance at it was Zach Gordon. He made the diving attempt. I'm not even sure who it was intended for, but was way off the mark. And now Berwick facing a 3rd down and 10 at their own 20.
Yeah, I think he was intending that for Dre Wilk, but it was way ahead of him. He had no chance of catching it, and if Zach Gordon had caught it, it would have been 6 the other way.
So a 3rd down and 10 situation for Berwick. They converted on a 3rd and 19 on their last possession. Slot to the left. And motion to the left. Lonzinski back to throw. Looking. Here comes the rush. He will be sacked. Back at the 16-yard line. That's going to be a problem for Berwick. The 2nd sack of the night for Danville. And a punt team comes on, and boy, Danville figures to get really good field position. Already up 13-0 here with 8:06 remaining in the first half.
I think one of the keys that I'm seeing for Danville, their front 3 defensive linemen are getting to the ball. They're getting to Lonzinski, really coming hard, really making the linemen work.
Dre Wilk back to do the punting. He's standing back at the Berwick 3-yard line. The punt is not particularly long. Persing, fair catch, and it's in Berwick territory. So Danville with great opportunity to add to what is already a 13-0 lead. 7 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in this first half of play.
Well, you talked about Danville's offensive numbers. I just want to go back to that defensive side of the ball. They're rushing 5. Like, Danville's not blitzing right now. They have guys in coverage. They're just playing a cover 2 zone. Berwick's guys are covered. Lonzinski really had nowhere to throw it, so he's forced to run, scramble, and it just results in the sack.
Ironmen at the Berwick 44. Gordon out of the gun. Gives the ball to Stauffer. Stauffer runs hard, gets to the 40-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6 coming for the Ironmen.
Beau Shepton and number 6, Rowan Slavinsky.
As Beau Shepton has to go off the field for some reason on the far side. Officials stopped play.
His helmet came off. He just has to leave for a play.
So Ethan Lear will replace him at the safety spot. As Danville, 2nd and 6 at the Berwick 40. Slot to the right side. Wide receiver left. Gordon rolling right. Looking. Fires. Incomplete. Intended for Persing at about the 15-yard line. Good coverage down there by Spencer Kishbaugh.
Yeah, Berwick defended that play well. All the receivers were covered. Zach rolled on a sprint out motion, and as he turned his hips as he released the ball, it was a little bit ahead of the receiver, but it was well covered.
Well, Spencer Kishbaugh is so athletic. I mean, he's a big kid, and there he is on Carson Persing and providing really good coverage. And now Danville faces 3rd down and 6 at the Berwick 40. Slot to the right side. To do some shifting. Gordon has the snap. Fires over the middle. Incomplete. Play action by him. Good coverage by Carmine Martz, I believe, for Berwick. And it will be a 4th and 6. And it looks like Danville will be punting it away.
Jimmy Andrea blitzed from the right side, put a lot of pressure on Zach Gordon. Again, forced a quick throw, an errant throw, an incomplete throw.
Garrett Hoffman back to do the punting.
Deep for the Bulldogs.
Trey Wilk back in single safety for the Bulldogs. Good snap by Ralph. Kick is away. Kick it away from Wilk. Bounces inside the 5 and is down right at the 5-yard line by Matt Patrick. So a terrific punt. They got it away from Trey Wilk. There's no way he could get over to pick that one off. And then it did not go into the end zone. Instead, Patrick down there to down it at the 5. So that's where Berwick will put it in play with 6:59 remaining in this opening half, and Danville leading it 13-0. Bulldogs with their full complement of timeouts remaining.
Jim, that was a very strategic punt. He punted that from the left hash to between the numbers and the hash of the opposite sideline, and it just dropped and died inside the 5-yard line.
Aiden Wiest is a tight end to the left for the Bulldogs. They go with an I formation. Shepton deep in the backfield, gets the call, looks for some room, and nothing there. Maybe a yard on the play. So looking for a little breathing room. They don't get much.
Well, Kate Cush stepped up square, real hard physical tackle, and it was a 2-yard game, but it was a physical 2 yards.
Kate Cush, a 5'11", 185-pound senior, middle linebacker in this 3-4 alignment by Danville. So Berwick 2nd down and 8 at their own 7-yard line. Trey Wilk wide to the right side. Carson Percy on him. What a terrific matchup there. But instead they go to Shepton on the ground. Tries the right side and nothing to it. Maybe to the line of scrimmage. So a big 3rd down play coming for the Bulldogs.
What they did is they're walking Cameron Kirsch and Ty Stauffer up, so the 3-4 becomes a 52 look, and they're just beating Berwick at the line of scrimmage every single play. Very tough physical front 5 for Danville.
No gain on that play. 3rd down and 8. Berwick. Bulldogs backed up to their own 7-yard line. Shepton is the tailback in the eye. He gets the call up the right side and nothing doing. Maybe the 10-yard line. So Berwick plays it very conservatively on the 3rd down and 8. And the punt team will come on once again.
Yeah, the ball spotted it just beyond the 6-yard line. So I would expect Danville to come after this punt this deep in their in Berwick territory. Their own territory, excuse me.
Another game in the area involving an unbeaten team, Mount Carmel, at Southern Columbia. Second quarter, that game tied at 7. Here is Wilk. 2 yards deep in his end zone, gets the kick away very, very short. Takes a bounce to Persing at the 45. Good coverage by Berwick. He'll be down at the 44-yard line. So the Bulldogs got Jimmy DeAndrea down there, Ethan Lear, who does such a good job snapping the ball and then getting downfield. He makes a lot of plays.
Well, I like what Persing did by picking the ball up. Even though he didn't gain any yards on the return, it prevented that ball from rolling approximately, I would estimate, 10 more yards based on the way it was rolling. So it puts Danville in a good field position.
Danville, for the 2nd time in a row, takes over in Berwick territory. Pressure on this Berwick defense with Danville leading 13-0, 4:53 to go in the half. Stuff on the call straight ahead and not much doing. Gets to the 44, maybe the 43-yard line.
Yeah, probably a half-yard gain and very stingy defense. Berwick played very well.
1 yard on the carry, 2nd down and 9. This is a big series for Berwick's defense. You go in, if it's 13-0, that's not all that bad at the half. But you go in 20 or 21-0, that's something else. That's what the Bulldogs trying to prevent here. 2nd and 9, Danville to 43. In motion is Persing. Stauffer gets the call. Has some running room inside the 40. Down about the 37-yard line. Spencer Kishbaugh in on the stop for the Bulldogs. Boy, Ty Stauffer really runs hard. 6 yards in that carry. 3rd down and 3 for Danville.
And when he squares up in the hole and squares his pads and drives, you can tell he's a weightlifter. You can just see the physicality with his running ability.
3rd down call coming. Ironmen probably in 4-down territory, needing just 3 yards. Stauffer lines up to the left of Zach Gordon. Berwick jumped across, made contact, and Danville will get the 1st down the easy way to the 32-yard line.
think Berwick's doing a real good job of stopping the run between the 0 and 4 holes, and it just seems like where Danville's gaining yardage on the run is between the tackle and end on each side of the ball.
Offsides against the Bulldogs. 5-yard walk.
The offside penalty takes the ball to the Berwick 32-yard line. 3:36 remaining in this first half. Danville tried to add to their 13-0 lead. Carson Percy, who caught the 50th touchdown pass of his career earlier, is wide to the left. 3 receivers to the right. Gordon has the snap, gives the ball to Stauffer off the right side, running hard inside the 30 to the Berwick 28-yard line. 4 yards of a first down carry by Ty Stauffer, 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, Ty Stauffer's running laterally, but he's very patient, and he's looking inside to where there's a hole. He's planting and getting upfield wherever he sees daylight, and I see how that play is designed now. That's a zone read, and he's making his decision on where he's going to go based on Berwick's defense of either over or under pursuing. So Berwick has to play very disciplined, gap-controlled football to stop that play.
2nd down. Danville at the Berwick 28. Kirsch in motion to the left. Draw play to Stauffer. Has room. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He is in for a Danville touchdown. 28 yards for Ty Stauffer.
28-yard run right up the middle, Jim. He broke one tackle, cut left, turned the acceleration on, and outran everybody to the end zone. Real nice play by Ty Stauffer. He's having a phenomenal football game this first half.
10 rushing touchdowns on the season for the senior headed to Army West Point. His second of this opening half. Danville missed their last extra point attempt, but they'll go for one once again. Madden Patrick will hold. Snap is a good one. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out on the field. 2:31 remaining first half. Danville 20. Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Danville offensive star in this opening half, senior running back Ty Stauffer. 15 carries for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. The latest, 28 yards. 20-0 Danville. As the kickoff will again go into the end zone. Berwick will take over at the 20. You know, Kaz, I don't know what the reason is, but we see very few draw plays anymore on any level, and we've seen Danville effectively run the draw here in the first half.
Yeah, it's something that you don't see very often at any level, as you said, anymore, but they really are doing very well with it, and they're just so patient with their offensive line. I like the way that play design is because I like what they're doing with their guards. The guard steps back like they're setting up for pass, let Berwick get into drop, then they go. And it allows other blocks to set up, and Danville's exploiting that.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They have their full complement of timeouts left. 2:31 to go in the half. Slavinsky out of the gun, has the snap. Back to throw, has time, nothing there. Steps back, now he's hit, sacked again. 3 different sacks of Matt Slavinsky. And you might call that one a covered sack, although I wasn't looking downfield. He certainly did have plenty of time to look over the field and evidently found that there was nothing there.
I think initially within the first 10 yards on the stick route with the slot going downfield straight, wide open. It would have been about a 12-yard dart that would have opened up into something big. But by letting it progress, the safety ended up jumping the route. And then, he had every bit of 4 seconds, though, which is a lifetime in high school football.
2nd down and 17. Slavinsky back to throw once again. Fires across his body, and the pass is a bad one. At the feet of Dre Wilk. So goes as an incompletion. Wilk was open at the 25-yard line. And now Berwick faces 3rd down and 17. And if they don't come up with miracle here, this thing could really get out of hand in the opening half because they'll be giving up good field position to a prolific Danville offense. 3rd and 17. Now the Bulldogs did convert on a 3rd and 19 in that opening quarter on the pass to Spencer Kishbaugh, who is wide to the right. Man in motion to the left. Slavinsky back to throw. Here comes the rush. Gets by one man. Fires it long downfield. Intended for Wilk, and it is picked off by Aaron Johnson at midfield. Pass came up short. Intended for Wilk. Johnson gets it. And Danville, with still 1:35 to go in this half, has it at the Berwick 49-yard line. Diving interception by Aaron Johnson, a beauty.
Yeah, that would have been analogous to a 37-yard punt. Okay, had the next down come, had a 4th down pursued, but nonetheless, Berwick's got to get into I'm sure Danville's going to go deep and utilize their great receiver talent to try and get the ball downfield and get on the board before the half.
3 receivers to the right. Zach Gordon out of the gun. Has the snap and he's back to throw, and he has time, and he steps up into it, and he fires, and he has Percy. Turns the corner, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and Carson Percy is in for the touchdown. 49 yards for the score.
That Carson Percy is an incredible athlete. Oh my goodness. They motioned into a trips, and then they ran a 3-man deep. Hold on.
Officials talking things over. Was there a penalty on the play? I did not see the flag dropped. Joe Claiborne is the official, as he will indicate it is illegal use of hands, which will bring it to the 41-yard line. So the net gain will be of 8, wiping away the play by Carson Percy. So many times, it seems to me, those long touchdowns that are called back involve a play that had nothing to do with getting the receiver into the end zone. But so be it. It's 1st and 2 for Danville as they'll use a timeout. 1:24 to go. First half. Danville leading Berwick 20-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
You've dreamed about it. A day spent sipping wine and eating bonbons. Make the dream come true at our 2nd annual Chocolate and Wine Festival. Sample chocolate treats, cheeses, local wines, and other goodies in support of the Ronald McDonald House of Danville. With a VIP ticket, you can get in an hour early and enjoy exclusive tastings. Pop Radio's Chocolate and Wine Festival. Sunday, November 6th at the Pine Barn Inn in Danville. Made possible by W&L Subaru Nissan Mazda and Collision Center. Get details and tickets now at thisispopradio.com.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
We thought Danville called a timeout. Perhaps they didn't because they ran a quick play. Stauffer lost a yard. It's now 2nd down and 3. Danville at the Berwick 42-yard line. Gordon back to throw, fires over the middle, has his man complete inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. Carson Percy makes the stop, and now Danville will call a timeout, but I'm not breaking. I don't trust them.
Well, Jim, I just want to comment on Carson Percy's, the touchdown that was called back in that play. It was a similar play. The touchdown that was called back was a dig, about 14 yards. He just caught the ball beautifully and then outran everybody. Tremendous speed, and on that play it was about a 17-yard seam route, and it was one-on-one coverage. The corner just was not letting him behind him. Zach Gordon did an excellent job of stepping into the throwing a bullet on time, on target, and Percy's having a career night. Just an incredible evening, and 2 great athletes hooking up.
Nothing against Dallas, and they were terrific, but this is the best offense that Berwick has faced this season. And unfortunately for Berwick, Danville has taken over in Berwick territory 3 straight possessions, and as good as they are, that can't happen if you have a chance.
No, field position, from a strategic standpoint, is incredibly important in big games like this.
1st and 10, Danville. at the Berwick 27-yard line. 44 seconds to go in the half. Gordon back to throw, looking, fires, has a man wide open on the far side, inside the 10, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Again, Cameron Kirsch catches the pass, and he was all by his lonesome.
He was all by himself. By the time Berwick reacted and got there, he did a little cut move inside and went in untouched. Real nice throw and catch. Great run after the catch.
27 yards on the reception to Kirsch.
Second reception of the season, and he goes for 6.
He's not one of their main targets. Now, they did miss an extra point earlier. Might go for 2 to make that up, and that's the way they're going to do it. As Johnson wide left. Persing in a slot to the right. Gordon out of the gun will go for the 2 points. Kirsch in motion right to left. And Gordon will keep it himself off the left side. Goes in standing up for the 2-point conversion. Timeout on the field. 37.5 seconds to go in the opening half. Danville 28 and Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
More people in our area are choosing First Columbia Bank and Trust for their home mortgages. Is it time you discover why? First Columbia Bank offers competitive rates along with local expertise, local decisions, and local loan servicing. Let's see what First Columbia can do for you. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan from the #1 mortgage lender in our area. Find out more or apply for your mortgage online at firstcolumbiabank.com. First Columbia Bank, with you every step of the way. Equal housing lender.
First Columbia Bank.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Well, for Zach Gordon, the senior quarterback for the Ironmen of Danville, now 18 touchdown passes on the season with 1 interception. His last score to Cameron Kirsch. 28-0 is the Danville lead. Just 37.5 seconds remaining in this first half. Garrett Hoffman kicks off. He's put a couple in the end zone. This will come up just short. Shepton at the 3, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and Beau Shepton stopped at about the 20-yard line. And I don't think Berwick will try to get too fancy here. They will go in. They will get the football to start the second half, so they'll try to regroup. But they're in a big hole right now. 28-0 is Danville has just looked terrific on both sides of the football.
Danville has lived up to the hype and everything that we expected of them in this game. They really have played well, real solid game plan, and they haven't made any mistakes.
Berwick from their own 20-yard line, closing seconds, opening half. Slavinsky from the pistol. Gives the ball to Bankus. Tries the right side, gets 2, maybe 3 on the play. The whistles stopped play, but clock continues to run here. So give about 4 yards to Bankus on the carry. Berwick doesn't need to take another step, and I don't think they will. So the unbeaten Ironmen of Danville looking to stay that way, and they are going to have a huge margin going in at halftime. It's Danville 28, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. The
home of the Berwick Bulldogs. This is WHLM AM, W282CO Bloomsburg, W234BH West Hazelton, W242CY Berwick, and W288CF Danville. Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains Media radio station.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, the roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas, now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
And drill design by Anthony McDonald.
Halftime from Ironmen Stadium in Danville. First meeting between Berwick and Danville since 1984. And Danville looking very, very impressive, showing why they're undefeated on the season as they lead the Bulldogs at the break 28-0. Danville started quickly. Took the opening kickoff, put together a 7-play, 60-yard scoring drive. Biggest play, a 41-yard run by Ty Stauffer, who had a monster first half carrying the football. Eventually, from the 10-yard line, Zach Gordon rolled right and completed a 10-yard touchdown pass to Carson Percy, a milestone catch for Percy, the 50th touchdown reception of his career. Became one of only 4 players in the history of Pennsylvania football to reach that milestone. Garrett Hoffman kicked the extra point. Danville had the lead of 7-0. Berwick, on their second possession of this game, had something going. They started at their own 25-yard line. At one point, they faced a 3rd down and 19. And Matt Lenzinski with a good pass over the middle of Spencer Kishbaugh, 33 yards to midfield. Then the Bulldogs eventually completed another pass to Kishbaugh, who reached the 25-yard line of Danville, but fumbled the football. Danville recovered, and the game really turned around at that point. Looked like Berwick was headed for a tying score. Instead, Danville puts together the scoring drive. 7 plays, 75 yards. It ends with 9:14 to go in the second on a 17-yard touchdown run by Ty Stauffer. That description doesn't do it justice. He ran over 4 or 5 Berwick would-be tacklers along the way. A great effort by him. There was also a 22-yard run on a double reverse to Aaron Johnson on that scoring drive. Garrett Hoffman's kick failed, but Danville had a lead of 13-0. Field position really plagued Berwick in that second quarter as the Bulldogs just couldn't get anything going. Short punts gave Danville the ball 3 times straight in Berwick territory. Twice they converted. Once on a 28-yard run on a draw play by Ty Stauffer, capping a 5-play, 44-yard drive. Garrett Hoffman with the extra point. Danville led 20-0. That was with 2:31 to go in the second. And again, Berwick could not get it out of their own territory. This time it was interception by Aaron Johnson at the Berwick 49-yard line. And in 4 plays, Zach Gordon found Cameron Kirsch 27 yards for the score. There was also a 15-yard pass completion to Persing. And Danville, having missed an extra point earlier, went for 2. Zach Gordon ran for those 2. That came with just 37.5 seconds to go in the first half. And Danville leads here at the break. Danville 28 and Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
When you're planning your next big event, weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites, remember Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. Have no power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. Preferred Portables can provide sanitary service to campgrounds, carnivals, parks, parties, and even has an emergency service 24 hours a day. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about events and contractor pricing. Email preferredportables@gmail.com. Go Berwick Bulldogs!
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding. Specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal on total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Digging deeper to make ends meet? Now you can get a 26% tax credit with a geothermal heat pump system from Climate Master. Climate Master geothermal systems tap the constant temperature of the earth to provide heating, cooling, and hot water while keeping your home comfortable all year long. And Climate Master systems are so efficient, you'll save up to 70% on your energy bill. The investment in a Climate Master system quickly pays for itself. Contact your local Climate Master dealer, Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Go to robertgdentheating-ac.com.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Top Radio.
Jim Doyle and Kaz Curry from Ironmen Stadium in Danville. We're at halftime of the first meeting between Danville and Berwick since 1984. Berwick High School Marching Band under the direction of Anthony McDonald, entertaining the big crowd here at Ironmen Stadium. Danville showing why they're unbeaten. They are dominating Berwick through one half of play. It's Danville 28 and Berwick nothing. Some stats from that first half, Kaz Curry.
Well, first half, Berwick had 3 first downs, none in the second quarter, to Danville's 10, who had 7 in the second quarter. It was really a tale of two quarters for Danville's offense, first to second quarter, and Berwick's defense, first to second quarter. In the rushing category, Wilk had 1 rush for 3 yards, Bankus 3 for 8, Lonzinski 4 for -15, and Shepton 5 for 14. So collectively, it was 13 rushes for 10 yards. On Danville's side, it was 20 rushes for 149 yards, with Ty Stauffer 16 rushes for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns, an animal-like run on that 17-yard touchdown. Johnson had 1 rush for 22 yards, Gordon 3 for 8. Passing, Lonzinski was 6 for 8 with 1 pick, 53 yards total. Zach Gordon 5 for 8, 87 yards with 2 touchdowns. Receiving, Spencer Kishbaugh 2 receptions for 45 yards. Dre Wilk 2 receptions for 4, and Beau Shepton 2 receptions for 4 yards. On Danville, Carson Percy having an amazing day. 3 receptions, 43 yards and a touchdown. Cameron Kirsch 1 reception, 27 yards and a touchdown right before the half. And Aaron Johnson 1 reception for 17 yards. Penalties, Berwick's had 3 for 15, Danville 3 for 20. So it's pretty even in that category. But Danville just completely winning the line of scrimmage on the offensive side, and on the defensive side, they're just creating absolute havoc for Berwick's offensive line, forcing rush throws from Lonzinski, and just you can see the strength of their team was built in the weight room from last January through August. Really impressive looking football team.
That was the goal. They lost rather handily in the state playoffs to Newman Goretti from Philadelphia, game that Andy Lichty and I broadcast last year in the postseason. And Danville had a good season last year. They finished 8-5 overall, but with 17 starters back from that team, they wanted to be better, and they wanted to be better and more physical, and they are physical. This is my first time and your first time seeing this team. There's no team is perfect. There's a flaw somewhere, but it hasn't emerged yet through what happened.
No, I mean, I thought the last time I saw Danville play was when Blake Franken was the quarterback for Bloomsburg. It was a Bloomsburg-Danville game. Danville won that game, but it was a real tight, physically fought game. And I believe Danville had just come off a big win over Mount Carmel the week before in that season. This would have probably been 10 years ago in that range. And looking at them tonight and just thinking about how good that team was 10 years ago, this is just a completely different level of program right now that Mike Brennan has brought the Ironmen to. And I mean, Berwick showing flashes. I mean, they showed that second drive. I thought there was a lot of potential there, and it just seems like I'm just watching body language in their heads. And I'm sure the coaches will talk to them and get them calmed down. But they have an opportunity to come out. You tell them it's 0-0. They scored 28 points and a half. So can we? Let's get it done. So you got to motivate your team and inspire them. But I mean, it's in between the ears now.
When you see good high school football teams, in my opinion, they're usually big, strong, powerful, right-at-you teams, or they're teams that can spread you out all over and finesse you. It seems to me Danville's both.
There's no question. I mean, I'm very impressed with Zach Gordon and very impressed with Carson Percy with the passing game. And I think that Kirsch, Johnson, and the other receivers complement them well. But, I mean, to me, the standout is this Stauffer. I mean, I'm really impressed with his running ability, how he squares his pad, how he accelerates into contact. I know he's going to West Point, and, I mean, it's may I say that I'm glad to know he'll be defending our country someday because that kid's a winner.
He is indeed. You know, I talked to some Danville people before the game, and I asked about Ty Stauffer because his numbers are not nearly as impressive as they were a year ago. He was well over 1,000 yards rushing, 568 coming to this one. I said, has he missed games? Has he been hurt? He says, no, it's just that they have so many other ways to go. They haven't had to overwork him. And now they feel he'll be much fresher for the postseason. He looks pretty fresh tonight.
He looks great tonight. I mean, what a beast.
Stay tuned. We will be checking other scores with Jake Klein coming up shortly. Score here at the half is Danville 28 and Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Pop Radio.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 120 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you and your children every step of the way.
Every step of the way, First Columbia Bank.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
When you think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables, you may only think of trophies, but we're much, much more than that.
We can take care of your wedding gift ideas or gifts for your graduate.
T-shirts and commemorative gifts for your company picnic or family reunion.
Unique gifts, personalized to your every need.
So when you think gifts, think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables in downtown Bloomsburg. Online at wagnerstrophies.com.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Pop Radio.
Bulldogs of Berwick have made their way onto the far side of the field, a couple of minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half here at Ironmen Stadium with Danville leading Berwick by a score of 28-0. For an update on other scores from around the area tonight, let's go back to the studios and Jake Klein.
Well, in the second quarter, it's Mount Carmel over Southern Columbia 14-7. Crestwood 49, Hanover area nothing in the second quarter. As Bloomsburg over Shikellamy 14-0 in the second quarter. Montrose over Columbia Montour Tech 16-14. That's in the second quarter. Wilkes-Barre area 20, Williamsport nothing in the second quarter. Delaware Valley 7, Valley View nothing in the first quarter. Lake Lehman 14, Wyoming area nothing in the second quarter. Dallas 14, Wallenpaupack nothing in the first quarter. Jersey Shore 44, Montoursville nothing in the second quarter. Loyal Sock 41, Wyalusing nothing in the second quarter. And Mifflinburg over Milton 12-7 in this second quarter. For Pop Radio Sports, I'm Jake Klein.
Thank you very much, Jake. Right here it is 28-0. Danville leading Berwick. We'd like to thank Scott Dudinsky, the fine sports writer of the Daily Item, for those stats that we gave you at halftime. Stats dominated by the Ironmen of Danville as they are dominating on the scoreboard, leading 28-0. And, Kaz, if you're Berwick and you're trying to come up with something, and obviously the first possession would be huge. I mean, if they get on the board, there's a potential for a game here. If they don't, it could really get away. It could be a mercy rule situation. So what's available to them from an offensive standpoint?
I think they go back to what they did in the second series. Ball control offense, short passes, and just keep the ball control. Move the chains. Take time off the clock. And I think that, you've got to count on some big plays by your playmakers and both sides of the ball. You got to count on Danville making a mistake, a fumble, an interception, a penalty, and they haven't made any. I mean, that's the bottom line. They're a very well coached, disciplined team, and Berwick is too. But it just seems like Danville's made less mistakes than Berwick in the first half, and Danville's capitalizing on every opportunity they have, and they're just exploiting the weaknesses in Berwick's defense.
Still a lot of game to be played. I think the worst thing that Berwick could do is think, oh my gosh, it's 28-0. We now have to throw on every down. That won't work.
That won't work. In fact, I would hope that doesn't happen. I think you just stay with your game plan, because it was evident that Berwick can move the football. But again, it's got to be, ball control, and the team that makes the least amount of mistakes in big games always wins. But as you said, there's a lot of football left, and looking forward to a competitive second half.
Mike Brennan talking to his quarterback, Zach Gordon, down below us. Mike, by the way, is dealing with a torn hamstring, which is a pretty severe injury, and he's got a real dilemma because obviously if he wants to get that treated as it should be, he's going to be out for a while. He's not going to be out for a while with the season coming to a climax here. Just 2 games after tonight, the postseason starting 3 weeks from tonight. I thought he was going to re-injure himself on that long run by Carson Percy that was called back. See, was pretty animated on the sideline, but boy, he has done a terrific job. Of course, Mike has won 2 state championships as a head coach at Mount Carmel, and he's won 2 district championships in his 2 seasons at Danville. They will be the favorite to win number 3 and hoping to make a long run in the postseason. Boy, it looks like they have the talent to do that. But we'll see if Berwick can get something going to start this second half. They'll be moving from our right to our left. Garrett Hoffman showed a great leg. There's little or no wind, and he's gotten into the end zone a couple of times. Ryan Bankus, Beau Shepton, deep for the Bulldogs as Hoffman has it teed up. Hey, we mentioned about their great offense and their great defense. Their special teams are pretty special as well, led by Hoffman as he approaches, and this second half is underway. The kick will go to Beau Shepton at about the 8-yard line. To the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and brought down over the 25 at about the 28-yard line as Carter Raup made the stop for Danville.
A real nice return by Beau Shepton, getting upfield, getting Berwick in good field position to start this second half. Ball's placed in the middle of the field at the 27-yard line. Here we go.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. As it looks like Caden Hunt will be the fullback on this initial series of the second half. As Berwick breaks the huddle, Liam Carroll, the center, over the football. Tight formation. Wilk in motion. Handoff to him. Tries the right side. Hit, drop for loss. Back at the 25-yard line.
Again, that defensive front for Danville is so physical and tough. They're just not giving up any ground, and they're playing gap-control defense. Corner filled well. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for Wilk. He's a great athlete. They're just not giving him anything on the corner.
And you mentioned the corner filling. That corner was Carson Percy, who actually made the tackle. 2nd and 13, Bulldogs back at their 25. Again, a tight formation and a toss sweep left side to Beau Shepton. Trying to turn the corner, and he won't get far. Maybe to the 30-yard line.
There's about a 4-yard gain. Looked like it had a little promise in the beginning. The corner was sealed off, but Danville's speed just gets to that perimeter and seals it up.
Yeah, if you're going to gain on this team, I think on the ground, it's got to be something quick hitter straight ahead, because you're not going to get it going east and west.
No, the whole game's been that way. And
3rd down and 8. Berwick at their own 30. Slot to the right. Slavinsky out of the gun, has the snap, straight drop back to throw, has time, fires, and the ball's picked off at midfield. The return to the 40 and to the 30-yard line. Zach Gordon with the pick. Danville in business. Pass way off the mark. 2nd interception of the game by Matt Slavinsky. There is a flag down on the return, I believe.
Yeah, flags land at the 26-yard line, 27-yard line.
Referee is Joe Claybon. He gives the indication. It's on Danville on the return. But Zach Gordon, we've talked all about him as a terrific quarterback, but he is pretty talented as a free safety as well. So this is the 4th time in the game that Danville has started a possession in Berwick territory. They lead the Bulldogs 28-0, 10:26 to go here in the 3rd. Persing on a wing to the right. There's a slot to the left. Gordon out of the pistol. Persing goes in motion to the left. Flags, blow it dead.
We have offside on Danville.
So the mark-off will be against the Ironmen. Their mistakes have been limited in this one. There's one, and they'll have a 1st and 15 at the Berwick 43-yard line. Zach Gordon to the sideline to talk to his head coach, Mike Brennan. Does that on every play. Again, Gordon has had such a great senior season. Missed a lot of his junior season with injury. Matt Patrick came on, did a great job. So Danville has a great backup in Patrick, who's now a wide receiver to the left. Persing in a slot to that side. 1st and 15 call. Here comes Persing, but the call goes straight ahead to Stauffer. Stauffer wrapped up by Harrison Snyder as he picks up about 3. Snyder from his defensive end position, 6'1", 210-pound junior. 11 tackles for loss coming into this one. Stop that one for a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 12. Danville at the Berwick 40. We're just underway in the second half. If Danville could punch one in here, we will have a mercy rule situation. Again, Patrick wide left, Persing in a slot to that side. Gordon out of the gun. Back to throw, plenty of time. Fires of the middle, incomplete. Intended for Aaron Johnson, the 30.
Harrison Snyder has a motor. He really is coming hard. He's playing hard. He swam, move a kid to get to the quarterback, put pressure on, force a quick throw. Real nice job by Harrison on that play defensively.
Yeah, he came on strong as a sophomore last year for the Bulldogs. Having a good year as a junior two-way player. Nice tackle on the offensive side. As Danville faces a 3rd down and 12 at the Berwick 40-yard line. Gordon has the play. Trots on and relays it to his offense. Ironmen with a slot to the right and
Major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Wide to the right. There's a slot to the left. Carson Percy in that slot. Kirsch goes in motion. Play action. Gordon back to throw. Fires to the middle. Has Percy inside the 25.
Had good coverage on him. That was a great pass.
From the 20, the call goes to Stoffer, and he is brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
That's been Berwick's strength tonight, between the 0 and 4 hole defensively. No one's getting through there. That was a 0-yard gain, and a real nice job by a host of the interior of Berwick's defense.
Second down and 10. Danville at the Berwick 20-yard line. Ironmen using a lot of the third quarter clock on this possession. That, of course, is a great advantage to them. They have the 4-score lead. 3 receivers to the left. Johnson to the right. Gordon. And we have a flag down on the play. Illegal procedure against Danville. I didn't see any movement, but
receiver up top.
So mark off to the 25. It'll bring up second down and 15. Danville at the Berwick 25-yard line. Bulldogs with another tough one coming up next week. Boy, this has been a murderer's row of games. Previously unbeaten Dallas last week, unbeaten Danville tonight, and they'll be once beaten Crestwood coming to Crispin Field next Friday. Second and 15. Danville at the Berwick 25. Kirsch in motion. Play action. Berwick with a big pass rush. Gordon trying to get away, and he will be forced out of bounds. Give a sack to Spencer Kishbaugh.
Berwick's defense is playing like men possessed right now. They're not quitting. They're playing hard. It's good to see, and that was a great play by Spencer Kishbaugh.
He gets the sack, his third of the season. 13th tackle for loss for Spencer. Bound for Kent State University next year. Here's a third down and 21. Danville at the Berwick 31-yard line. Gordon out of the gun. Persing in motion right to left. And flag down the play.
Left guard, Jim.
So the Ironmen making some uncharacteristic penalties, and Mike Brennan letting them know what he feels about it in no uncertain terms, as this will go back to the 36-yard line. Bring up third and 26. There'll have to be about 3 more penalties for Danville to be in a situation that they can't convert. This team has weapons. Third and 26 here. Aaron Johnson wide left. Persing in motion to the left. Gordon looking for Persing. Instead comes to Stoffer, and Stoffer's tackled from behind. Well, that's a nice defensive word. Rowan Slavinsky, who's been very, very active from his defensive end position. That play had some potential. Slavinsky with the tackle from behind holds it to 4, and it's fourth down. Probably too far for a field goal, certainly too close to the goal line for a punt. We'll see Danville make a play here.
Yes, Slavinsky read the screen very well, stayed in his position, and as Gordon released it, he reacted quickly to the running back Stauffer and made a nice tackle. Nice open field tackle for a minimal gain.
4th and 22 for the Ironmen. Persing wide to the left, starts in motion toward the line of scrimmage, play action, Gordon back to throw, fires on the backfield, has a man wide open, down the sideline, out of bounds at the 10-yard line for a first down.
No, I think it's at the 11.5, maybe 12. I don't think he got it. It's going to be unless that if that down marker's at the 10, he's short.
The pass was complete to Ty Stauffer, and boy, they came up just short. And Berwick will take over the football. That was a 4th and 22, and they come up about a yard short down at the 11-yard line.
That reminded me of an old Georgia Bulldog play. A halfback naked halfback flat pass, and everybody goes one way, the back goes the other. Throw it quick. Caught Berwick sleeping, but good job reacting. The defense is fast. Berwick's defense does react well to the ball, stopping it.
They needed 22. They got 21. Berwick from their 11. Carry straight ahead to about the 13-yard line. Ryan Bankus will pick up a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Jim, what I'm seeing is both teams smacking each other. Both teams are very physical, and regardless of the score on the board, both teams are playing hard.
7 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Danville 28, Berwick nothing. Bulldogs 2nd down and 7 at their own 14-yard line. Slavinsky under center. End around to Spencer Kishbaugh. Danville reads it so well. The loss of 4 back to the 10-yard line.
The perimeter game just isn't there today, Jim. Danville's too fast, and they're playing. They're reading their offensive keys very well, staying in position. And it's just it's a tough day to try and get yardage out the 7, 8, 9 holes.
3rd down and 11. Berwick back at their 10. That last tackle by Mason Raup, who earlier in the game reached a career milestone with his 500th career tackle. Slavinsky out of the gun on 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Looking, fires. It's off the hands of Spencer Kishbaugh. Picked off by Matt Patrick. Patrick to the 10, to the 5, and ridden out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Well, it's the 3rd interception suffered by Slavinsky, but he deserved better fate on that one.
His hands were right on the ball. It was a tip. And Patrick did a real nice job of getting the ball off the tip drill and then making positive yardage for his team in the other direction, and wisely ran out of bounds without taking a big hit.
1st and goal, Danville at the 4-yard line with 5:58 to go in the third. They are close to putting this into the mercy rule category, as out of the pistol, Stauffer is the running back behind Gordon. Stauffer gets the call, tries the left side, and makes a lot of resistance. No gain on the play. Good defense by Berwick.
Yeah, Berwick did a good job of reacting and moving to the ball as a group. There were 8 white helmets around Stauffer on that defensive stop.
He actually lost a yard back to the 5. Spencer Kishbaugh among the people in on the play for Berwick. So it's 2nd and goal for Danville. They're in control with 5.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Again, they have not had an unbeaten regular season since 2010. Closing in on that. Stauffer to the right of Gordon, who takes the snap and rolls right and fires to the end zone. He has his man for the touchdown. So a quick out pass is from Zach Gordon to
Mason Raup.
Carson
Percy. I couldn't get the number.
So the touchdown pass from Gordon to Persing adds to the lead with 5:13 to go.
A quick 5-yard out. Real nice pass play from Gordon to Persing. He was open. He was wide open on the play, and
extra point by Hoffman. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 5:13 to go in the third. Danville 35, Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Berwick turns it over for the fourth time in this game. Danville cashes in. Zach Gordon to Carson Percy. Second touchdown reception of the game for Percy, the 51st of his unbelievable career. And now we are in a mercy rule mode with 5:13 to go. Danville leading this one 35-0. Hoffman squibs the kick along the turf, and it goes out of bounds. Not sure what that was all about with the 35-0 lead, but Berwick will take over in good field position. And field position has not been kind to the Bulldogs in this game.
No, there's still a lot of fight in them. I like what I'm seeing with the kids. They're coming after it. Unfortunately, just again, the breaks just haven't gone their way, and just making mistakes, and Danville's capitalized on it. But it's got to get something going here. Guys got to rally.
At the 35-yard line, Dre Wilk is wide to the right. Beau Shepton to the left. It's Lonzinski out of the gun. Shepton in motion. Handoff to him. Sweeps the right side. Has some room. And we'll see where they mark it. Again, it is really, really difficult for Berwick, even with the great speed they have, to get outside this Danville defense. They are so quick. Anything trying to get outside. And that looked like a great play. And it ended up as a 4-yard gain.
Well, that 3-4 defense takes that corner away because you got guys spread across. You got 2 deep, 7 under, 3 on the defensive line.
Slot to the left side. Lonzinski fakes handoff, keeps the football himself. Nice run, has the first down over the 45 out to the 46-yard line. So keeper by Matt Lonzinski. And he picks up 7 yards and a Berwick first down.
Yeah, much needed. Ball control, move the chains. And the clock now is going to continue to run because we are in the mercy rule.
Slot to the left side. Lonzinski out of the gun. From the 46. Fires a pass way over the head of Dre Wilk, the intended receiver, at midfield. Again, because we are in the mercy rule, that clock does not stop on that incompletion. It continues to run as we come down to 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
That was a well-covered play by Mason Route, number 5. He was underneath the receiver, and Percy was over the top. So that high throw may have been a blessing in disguise for Berwick.
So the ball at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Berwick. 3 receivers to the left. Lonzinski has the shotgun snap, and he's back to throw. He has all the time in the world. Now he's going to keep the football, and he stood up at midfield, gets over midfield to about the Danville 49. He'll pick up close to 5 on the play, and he'll bring up a 3rd down call for Berwick. They give him to midfield. 3rd down and 6 coming.
Yeah, it was a good decision by Lonzinski to run that, take off on a quarterback keep. Everybody was covered downfield. He had a lane and taken advantage of it. A nice rush.
Kishbaugh wide to the right, slot to the left. Lonzinski gives the ball off to Ryan Bankus. Bankus straight ahead. Didn't get very far. In fact, Danville able to bring him down as he got a yard to the 49-yard line. So Berwick facing 4th down at the Danville 49. I'd be surprised if we don't see a play from scrimmage here. 4th down at about 5.
Yeah, going back to that 3-4 defense that Danville runs, it really takes all your blocking rules away from an offensive perspective. So it's a different type of game plan that Berwick had to put in this week to overcome that specific strategy.
Here's the fourth down call. Slavinsky back to throw, looking long downfield into traffic, and it's incomplete. That one had no chance. As Billy Hansen, the closest one there, and it was double covered. So Danville will take over, and boy, they have had terrific field position in this game on almost every possession. Right now, they'll take over at their own 49-yard line with 2:10 remaining in the third quarter, and Danville leading this one by a score of 28-0.
It looks like Danville has their starting offense in still at this point.
As they will set up shop at their 49-yard line. Ty Stauffer, a couple of touchdown runs. Carson Percy, a couple of touchdown receptions. Gordon out of the gun. Hands to Stauffer, tries the right side, nothing there, so he goes to the left side, gets what he can. It's not much. Berwick pursues well. Ty Stauffer gets about 2 to the Berwick 49-yard line.
That was a complete handoff to the right, looking like it was going to between the tackle and end, and he did a complete reverse to go to the opposite tackle for a gain of 2.
Kate Cush enters the Danville offense on this second down and 8. Clock winding down here in the third, 1:29 to go. Carson Percy wide to the right. Gordon awaits the shotgun snap. Gives the ball to Aaron Johnson, and Johnson is wrapped up right about the line of scrimmage. Good defensive work. Spencer Kishbaugh closing from his linebacker spot. They give him a yard to the Berwick 48-yard line. Third down and 7.
Yeah, they pulled the left guard on that play, and DeAndrea and Snyder blew up the point of attack, and Spencer made a nice tackle.
Third down call coming. Pursuing wide to the right, slot to the left. Zach Gordon awaits the shotgun snap. He has it, and he's back to throw. And here comes the rush, and he steps up into it, has running room to the 40, and slides to the first down. Down to the 37-yard line of the Bulldogs. There is a flag down behind the line of scrimmage. Usually that is holding. No indication yet from the referee, Joe Claiborne.
Well, Zach Gordon did a nice job, nice decision on that to pull the ball and run with it, with the deep secondary covering all of the receivers.
That'll be a 10-yard penalty, holding against Danville back to the 38-yard line. And it'll bring up a third down and 17. Time for perhaps one more play here in the third quarter. Danville has scored the only points of this quarter. 3 receivers to the left. Matt Patrick wide right. Third and long. Johnson in motion to the right side. Gordon's back to throw. Big pass rush, and he'll be sacked back at the 25-yard line. Zach Gordon, hang on just a little too much. Rowan Slavinsky was one of the people in for Berwick.
And Jimmy DeAndrea was there. Harrison Snyder was there. They all converged about the same time and really didn't give Zach Gordon anywhere to run. He couldn't go right, left. He couldn't spin out. Nice job.
3 quarters of the books here at Ironmen Stadium. Danville 35 and Berwick nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Jim Doyle and Kaz Curry from Ironmen Stadium in Danville. 3 quarters of the books. Unbeaten Danville. Rolling over Berwick to the tune of 35-0. Berwick got a good stop at the last play of that third quarter. So Danville 4th and 28. Punt team on. Line of scrimmage there, 27-yard line. As Beau Shepton and Trey Wilk deep for Berwick. Garrett Hoffman does all the kicking for this team. Gets the snap and gets the kick away. Line drive kick will be fielded at the 37-yard line. Dre Wilk to the 45. Dre Wilk over midfield and ridden out of bounds across the way. So Berwick gets the defensive stand. They get a good return from Wilk, and they'll take over in Danville territory. This fourth quarter just underway. We are in the mercy rule mode, so not a lot of time to stage a big comeback, but Berwick would just like to get on the board and feel good about themselves offensively.
And I'm sure Coach Brennan's challenging his Ironmen to go for a shutout and have their sixth shutout of the season. So it looks like they still have all their varsity out there, and Berwick's lined up. Looks like a slot right.
Kishbaugh on a wing to the right. The call goes off the right side as Dre Wilk will get the call and will get inside the 40-yard line. Second down call coming for the Bulldogs. They mark it at the 38, so 4 yards from the pickup. Second down and 6 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, there was a kick out, and DeAndrea did a nice job of providing that initial block to the defensive end, giving some room, and nice 4-yard gain.
Second down call coming. Rowan Slavinsky, normally a tight end, is split wide to the left side on this second down call. Wide receiver to the right as well, as officials stop play. And we'll talk things over. Got a lot of those calls in this game where before the snap, pre-snap penalties. This one against Berwick, and again, someone lining up offside. Didn't appear to be any movement. And a 5-yard walk-off to the 43, bring up second down and 11.
And it looks like the split end was over.
As Billy Hansen wide to the right. Again, Slavinsky is wide left. Protector to either side of Lonzinski, who's back to throw and dumps it off to Wilk to the 40 and tackled nicely about the 38-yard line. He's normally so impressive in the open field, but Carson Percy, besides being a tremendous receiver, is quite a corner as well, and a good tackling corner. He makes the play at the 38, a pickup of 5. It is third down at about 6. Slonzinski trotted to the sideline, got the play. Again, Berwick trying to get on the board for the first time in this game. Bulldogs have not been shut out on the season. Here's the third down call. Lonzinski has the snap, back to throw. Good time. Fires into traffic over the head of Wilk. What a dangerous pass. There's no chance for Wilk. He was surrounded by Ironmen. Not sure what Matt saw there, but now it's 4th and 6. Berwick at the 38.
Yeah, there were 4 guys, 4 orange jerseys around Wilk on that particular play, and all the Ironmen were in coverage. It's called a 49er drill. They had everything covered from all the 7 under coverage zones on that side of the field were covered.
4th down and 6. Berwick at the 38. They'll be going for it. 3 receivers to the left. Lonzinski out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, has time, fires a bad pass. Incomplete at the feet of the intended receiver, Beau Shepton at the 35-yard line. No chance of that one, and Danville will take over the football with 9:01 to go in the game, and the Ironmen lead in this one by a score of 35-0.
And there was some promise to that drive, but again, getting the ball where it needs to be. The offensive line, I thought, did a good job that series, giving Lonzinski some protection. But either way, it's Danville's ball. Looks like they're putting some of their backups in.
Well, that's not necessarily good news, because Madden Patrick is now the quarterback, and he filled in last year when Gordon was hurt and was terrific. As we will have a timeout, Danville will take one as well. 8:35 to go 35-0 Danville. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
This is Berwick football coach Mike Bennett. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Pop Radio.
Danville called the timeout to get organized with subs in. They have the ball at their own 38-yard line. They move from our right to our left. 8.5 minutes to go in the game. They have the big lead at 35-0 as Aaron Johnson gets the call. Hit behind the line, but does a great job getting outside and making something out of nothing.
He should have been stopped for 4 yards. Again, just good balance, able to break the first tackle and then turn the corner, outrun a few guys, and turn a 4-yard loss into a 7.5-yard gain.
And that's below his average. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry on the season. So they have more than just Ty Stauffer. Aaron Johnson is good receiver, good runner as well. Here's a 2nd down and 3 for the Ironmen at their 45-yard line. Persing still in the game. He's a slot back to the right. Patrick hands it off to Johnson. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. This time he won't get there. Berwick with good penetration that time. Spencer Kishbaugh in on the play. Beau Shepton coming up from the secondary. They mark it at the 45, no gain. So it is 3rd down and 3 for Danville.
Johnson, again, similar play, almost the same play, but good balance, breaking the first tackle. Really impressive. Good hips.
Madden Patrick is a sophomore. Again, he played a lot as a 9th grader. Quarterback last year, did a terrific job in place of the injured Zach Gordon. Now he's going to throw. He's back to throw, and he fires long downfield, and the ball is picked off by Dre Wilk. Wilk on the interception to the 28-yard line. There is a flag down about the line of scrimmage. Dre Wilk played that one very, very well and picks off the pass. First turnover on the part of Danville. We'll see if it holds as we wait for the call.
They ran a 3-deep route, 2 verticals, and a guy on the post. Wilk was able to get under the post, break to the ball, intercept it, and nice big play for Berwick.
Dre Wilk with his 2nd interception of the season. Referee Joe Claybon about to give us the call. Illegal man downfield for Danville, declined. Berwick will get the interception and get the football and try to get on the board with 6:53 to go in this game. And Danville leading at 35-0. Again, Berwick will have another tough task at senior night at Crispin Field next Friday as they take on Crestwood, a team that will come in with just 1 loss on the season. As Berwick, 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Bulldogs moving from our left to our right. Slavinsky out of the gun, play action, throws it way over the head of his intended receiver on the far side. And will be 2nd down and 10. Again, that clock continues to run because we are in the mercy rule. I want to remind you we have college football coming your way tomorrow afternoon on our sister station, Bigfoot Country 106.5. Scott Dennis and I will bring you the game from Hubert Jack Stadium in Lock Haven. Bloomsburg University against Lock Haven. Our kickoff is at 1 o'clock. Our coverage starts with the Frank Shepton Show at 12:30. 2nd down call coming. Slavinsky gives the ball off the left side. Ryan Bankus on the call will get over the 30 to the 35-yard line. And we'll bring up a 3rd down call coming.
Bankus had a nice run there. Nice feet, nice cut back inside, and results in a 5-yard gain.
3rd down and 6. Berwick at their own 34-yard line. Spencer Kishbaugh wide to the right. Beau Shepton in a slot to that side. 3rd down call coming. Slavinsky has the snap. Back to throw. Nothing there. still trying to keep it alive and hangs on too long. And he'll be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
It's that vicious defensive line of Danville. They're just relentless getting to the ball.
And they're so good in the secondary that even when Matt Lozinski has time, invariably he has nowhere to go with it. So 4th and long for Berwick with under 5 minutes to play. 4th and 14. See if they'll punt it away or go for it. Looks like they're going to go for it. 3 receivers to the right. Lozinski back to throw. Looking, steps up into it, fires over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Spencer Kishbaugh. Goes through his hands, incomplete. Danville will take over the football with 4:35 to go. And the Ironmen leading this one by a score of 35-0.
And Danville played real nice defense, good coverage on that. Cade Cush was, as the linebacker, got deep into coverage about 14 yards and was able to just break the pass up.
So we'll see how the Ironmen play it. Looks like Zach Gordon is back in there at the quarterback controls from the 25-yard line. Slot to the left. Call goes straight ahead to a fullback, Kirsch, and he gets inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line. Cameron Kirsch on the carry, picked up 7 on the quick hitter. 2nd down and 3. Carson Persing's night may be over. He comes to the sideline with 3:49, the clock running. Stay with us. At the end of this game, we'll give the wrap-up, and we'll also go to Jake Klein for an update on scores of other games. 2nd down and 3. I formation. Kirsch again, the call. Looking for the first down yardage. He's very close as he goes off the right side.
Big body, big Kirsch, big kid, big body getting in there on a fullback trap to the right this time. They've done a lot of running to the left tonight. That's the first time they've run to the right in a while, but good movement and produces a first down.
1st and 10 for the Ironmen. So Matt Patrick got to throw only 1 pass in this game, was picked off, and he's come out of there. Zach Gordon still on the field as we go under 3 minutes to go. Danville at the Berwick 15-yard line. Slot to the left. Kirsch again, fullback, straight ahead. Gets a yard, maybe 2 on the play, just straight ahead football. The clock winds down.
Yeah, Chase Shucker's the initial tackler on that dive up the middle.
2nd down and 9. Danville at the Berwick 14-yard line. Zach Gordon. There's a lot of real estate in during the course of a game as he runs to the sideline after every play. He is under center. As Johnson gets the call off the left side, Liam Carroll wraps him up right about the line of scrimmage. Liam Carroll's had a terrific junior season for the Bulldogs. He, of course, is their center on offense. Done a good job there. And for much of the second half of the season, he has been in the middle of that defensive line. Has done a great job as Berwick gets some subs in now. The ball at the 13-yard line. It will be a 3rd down and 7 for the Ironmen.
Clock's at 1:30 and winding. End of the 4th quarter.
Rowan Slavinsky still in there. Boy, he has had a terrific game and a losing effort from his defensive end position. And very, very active. Flag flies. Was it too much time?
I think it was delay of game, yes.
Bring it back to the 18. Bring up 3rd down and 12 for Danville. Again, the Ironmen have wrapped up a Heartland Conference Championship. 2 more regular season games. And then they'll be in the postseason trying for a 3rd consecutive District 4 AAA championship. Danville comes to the line, 18-yard line. Carry off the left side as subs are in there. Corey King, a sophomore running back, got the call. Picked up a couple of yards as fourth down will be the call for Danville at their 17-yard line. As the quarterback right now, the third one they've used is Carter Raup. He's a ninth grader. Perhaps the last play of the game coming here. 4th and 12. Danville at the Berwick 17-yard line. Raup, the ninth grader, looks at that play clock, waits till it gets down to 2 and 1, and hands off the right side. Hunter Gursky on the carry. On what will be the final play of this game, they come up short of the yardage needed for the first down. 3.2 seconds showing on the clock. They'll start that clock and end this one at a very, very impressive win for the Ironmen of Danville. They remain unbeaten. The final score is Danville 35, Berwick nothing. Scoring some stats, score some other games when we return. You're listening to Berwick Football and Pop Radio.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Has a sports injury got you down? No one knows sports medicine like Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. With more than 30 years of experience, they put athletes first and provide same-day appointments. Don't let a sports injury slow you down. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO.
You've dreamed about it. A day spent sipping wine and eating bonbons. Make the dream come true at our second annual Chocolate and Wine Festival. Sample chocolate treats, cheeses, local wines, and other goodies in support of the Ronald McDonald House of Danville. With a VIP ticket, you can get in an hour early and enjoy exclusive tastings. Pop Radio's Chocolate and Wine Festival, Sunday, November 6th at the Pine Barn Inn in Danville. Made possible by W&L Subaru Nissan Mazda and Collision Center. Get details and tickets now at thisispopradio.com.
Mike Brennan down below us to our left. The Ironmen have defeated Berwick here by a score of 35-0. We'll check some scores with Jake Klein coming up shortly. Got some big offensive numbers for Danville. They were just as good defensively, but their stars came through. How about some of those numbers?
Oh, incredible. Stauffer, the fullback, had 20 collective rushes for 123 yards. Zach Gordon was 9 for 13, 137 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Persing was 5 receptions for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just a stellar night for these guys. And they're the real deal. This football team can really go deep in the state playoffs this year. They can stay healthy, play together, play as a team, play united, and don't make mistakes.
You're listening to the Independence Ford postgame show here on Pop Radio. Danville got off to a great start in this one. Off the opening kickoff, 7 plays, 60 yards. Zach Gordon, 10-yard touchdown pass to Carson Percy for the touchdown. For Persing, the 50th touchdown reception of his career. Only 5 players in the history of the state of Pennsylvania have had that many. Big play along the way was a 41-yard run by Ty Stauffer. Danville took a 7-0 lead in what we'll call the Independence Ford drive of the game. If there is a turning point in a game that ends up 35-0, it came on Berwick's second possession. They started deep in their territory. They got a 33-yard completion from Matt Lonzinski to Spencer Kishbaugh. on a 3rd and 19. And then eventually they got a completion from Slavinsky to Spencer Kishbaugh down to the 25-yard line. But Spencer Kishbaugh fumbled, Danville recovered, and that turned things around. Instead of Berwick going for a tying score, Danville with a 7-0 lead took over and marched 7 plays, 75 yards. Ty Stauffer with a tackle-breaking 17-yard run for the score. There was also a 22-yard run by Aaron Johnson on a double reverse. Garrett Hoffman's extra point failed, but Danville had a 13-0 lead, 9:14 to go in the second. Later in that second quarter, the Ironmen completed a 5-play, 44-yard drive on a 28-yard run by Ty Stauffer on a draw play. Garrett Hoffman kicked the extra point. Danville led 20-0, and they weren't done. They got the ball on an interception at the Berwick 49-yard line. And with just 37.5 seconds to go in the half, Cameron Kirsch, a 27-yard pass from Zach Gordon. Then Gordon ran for the 2-point conversion. At the half, Danville led 28-0. There was only one score in the second half. It came after another interception. Madden Patrick picking off Matt Slavinsky, returning it to the 4-yard line. 2 plays later, Zach Gordon to that man again. Carson Percy, Garrett Hoffman with the extra point. Didn't know it at the time, but that would be all the scoring in this one, as Danville beats Berwick by a score of 35-0. For an update on scores from other games, let's return to the studios and Jake Klein.
Well, in the third quarter, Mount Carmel is beating Southern Columbia 20-14. That's Crestwood over Hanover area 62-7 in the third quarter. Hazelton area 36, Wyoming Valley West at halftime. Bloomsburg 14, Chickalemi 7 in the third quarter. Wilkes-Barre area 40, Williamsport 7 in the third quarter. Valley View 21, Delaware Valley 20 in the third quarter. Lake Lehman in the Wyoming area, they're at halftime. Lake Lehman leads at 14-13. Wallenpaupack nothing, Dallas 14 at halftime. Jersey Shore 58, Montoursville nothing in the fourth quarter. And a final score to bring your way, Loyal Sauk over Wyalusing tonight 47-0, and Mifflinburg 26-21 in the third quarter. For Pop Radio Sports, I'm Jake Klein.
Yeah, Mifflinburg was playing Milton in that one, and that final score that Jake gave. Here it was all Danville, start to finish. Kaz, great working with you. And Danville's the real deal. For our first time for both of us to see them on the season, there's a weakness somewhere we haven't seen it.
They're strong in all 3 phases of the game, Jim. And I'm really impressed with Garrett Hoffman, their kicker. Ty Stauffer had a career game, just tough, hard-nosed runner. I can't get over the play of Justin Kutcher, Lincoln Deal, and Gunnar Tribally, the 3 defensive linemen. They just come off the ball and they move. They have motors that get to the quarterback, and it's evident that Danville's left side of their offensive line, from their center, left guard, and tackle, they run a lot to the left, and they utilize the strength of that senior side and that size to open up holes and create running lanes for Stauffer, Johnson, and the rest of the cadre of backs that Danville has.
Danville with the win goes to 8-0. They'll be home against Bellefonte next Friday night. For Berwick, they drop to 4-4 overall. They'll be home senior night at Crispin Field against the Comets of Crestwood, who will bring a 7-1 record into that game after their convincing win over Hanover area tonight. That game, as usual, kicks off at 7. We hope you'll join us for the broadcast. It starts, as usual, with the Coach Bennett Show at 6. That final again tonight, Danville 35 and Berwick nothing. For Kaz Curry and our producer, Jay Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you you're live on Pop Radio.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldog Football on Pop Radio. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Rattle 11 in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's visions. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes in Berwick and Chickasha. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg.